Good morning. This is Robert from The Breathable Body. I wanted to talk to you a little bit this morning about my take on the virus from a breathing perspective. Obviously, one of the things that the virus is doing is attacking people's respiratory system, letting us know on another level that our air is becoming more and more contaminated and less sustainable for human life. I know that's a far-reaching thought, but the intelligence of this virus has shut down industry, has shut down automobiles, has shut down a lot of the ways that we pollute our atmosphere. And what are we seeing? What we're seeing now, cities that are empty and the air is clear. See these shots over China, pre-virus and post-virus with clean air post-virus. 91% of the world's population, according to the World Health Organization, does not have clean air to breathe. That's 91%. Anybody who's not breathing clean air is going to have some lung compromises. So when this virus attacks, almost everybody is compromised because they've been breathing polluted air for a really long time. And perhaps that's one of the reasons it's attacking the elderly, because the elderly have been breathing polluted air for longer than the younger people have, even though we know now that it's also attacking younger people. There are reports out there, scientists doing the studies that say that air pollution makes us much more vulnerable to viruses. The truth also is that in air pollution, we lose on the planet close to 9 million people a year due to air pollution. 72% of those are from heart attacks and strokes, and 18% from respiratory diseases and cancer. So 9 million people is a bit of a pandemic, bigger than the virus is at a particular moment. We don't register it that way because people die of heart attacks and strokes, and so it gets broken apart. And these are the people who come to the hospital. We don't know about the people who don't come to the hospital. So what I see it's an atmospheric pandemic. It's an air pollution pandemic. We are constantly being told over and over again that the way we run our cultures does not sustain life in terms of our atmosphere, in terms of our respiratory function. So many more people are dying from asthma. It's an interesting way to think about the fact that we lost the safety of our soil and we had to go to organics to make sure we were eating foods that weren't poisoned. After that came bottled water because we didn't trust the water anymore. So we lost those two resources for safety. And now we're losing our air's resources. Air pollution and viruses are part of the air, and they are transmitted through water droplets. But we know if we walk into somebody's sneeze, we are likely to breathe in those viruses. So on some level, it is transferable through the air. So another way that the virus is talking to us is it's telling us, slow down. How you've been running your societies at such a fast pace, fast growth is not sustainable. Some portion of those 91% of the world's population that didn't have clean air to breathe now has clean air to breathe from a pollution level, not from a virus level, but from a pollution level. We can see that that air is clearing up quite nicely. So I hate to see us go back to the way things were before and go back to polluting, because that's not going to be sustainable, and I'm afraid something bigger will come down. And the virus certainly is cutting across all class lines and all poverty levels. I mean, certainly the people who are in poverty and homeless and don't have food for their children are suffering the worst. But we're going to see that the virus is not particular between the rich and the poor, between the well-off and the not well-off, that everybody is going to be subject to this. So just know that I know too that people are suffering greatly. I have tremendous sadness and empathy for those who are suffering and not being able to feed their families and dying on the streets and dying in their homes with their loved ones. But we have to listen to what the virus is, how is it serving in a very particular way to show us that we can clean up our environment when we stop everything and make our life sustainable again. So I'm Robert from The Breathable Body. I also teach breathing. I will have a free lecture on Saturday at 1 o'clock on Facebook on the Breathable Body page. I do some online training as well. And I think it's important how we use our respiratory systems. We need to know our lungs are really smart. When they don't feel the air is safe, they should begin to shut down and breathe less. I know that as being an asthmatic. And I also know that as a way that I can use my own breathing to comfort me, to relax me, and to let my airways move out of the pattern of being frightened all the time and breathing a little bit more healthily with a little bit more air. And that way I can be more oxygenated and perhaps have more vitality, a stronger immune system, and a better respiratory system. Well, that's all from me today. I appreciate you listening to my conversation around this. If you need any more information, you can go to my website at thebreathablebody.com. All right. Thank you. Bye.